Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, September 24. Several wanted men are now in police custody following the seizure of 3 guns and 35 rounds of ammunition. This after the first day of a state of public emergency declared within parts of the St. Andrew South, Kingston Central, and Kingston Western police divisions. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who made the declaration Sunday, said the enhanced security measure will last initially for 14 days. He said the measures were necessary to address long-standing and entrenched crime and public disorder within these communities.
The objective is therefore to degrade and erode the capacity of criminal organizations to operate and control these spaces, and ultimately to provide the space within which law-abiding citizens and regular policing can work together to maintain peace and harmony in these areas.
Areas under the state of public emergency are the market and business districts of downtown Kingston, Denham Town, Greenwich Town, Hannahtown, Jonestown, Tivoli Gardens, Whitfield Town, Rosetown, and Arnett Gardens.
For some time, these areas and these parts of the divisions have been exposed to gang violence, significant extortion, and general lawlessness.
And the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Rocky Meade, urged citizens to acquaint themselves with the regulations governing the state of emergency.
We ask that as you approach these checkpoints, that you lower your windows, and during the dark periods, turn on your roof lights. The more visibility the troops have of who's in the vehicle is, the less need there may be to stop you and actually check.
Major General Meade promised to work closely with the media to provide swift updates on the roads affected during this period. Persons with information about unlawful activities in these communities are being urged to call Crime Stop at 311 or 876-837-8888. Meanwhile, the security forces will be working assiduously to ensure that traffic flows smoothly in the 3 corporate area police divisions now under a state of public emergency. That's the assurance given by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He said significant planning had gone into the declaration to include ongoing roadworks in the corporate area and the back-to-school period. The hurricane season and the upcoming Christmas holidays were also part of the planning.
Many of the routes they dissect communities, and some of them bypass communities. And so within that, there are options for how the security forces can position their checkpoints without interfering with the flow through.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is in the eastern United States city of New York for the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. Among the activities, Mr. Holness will participate in the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit, a series of bilateral discussions with world leaders as well as representatives from the banking and private sectors. In his role as CARICOM chairman, the Prime Minister will launch Caribbean Moves, a spin-off of Jamaica Moves. The Prime Minister is supported by the Foreign Affairs Minister, his Communications Director, and Senator Matthew Samuda. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang will be in charge of government until Mr. Holness returns on Friday. In other news, more funds are being made available for Jamaica under the International Monetary Fund, IMF's 3-year precautionary standby arrangement. This will come into effect at the end of the 4th review.
Considerations by the IMF's Executive Board is tentatively scheduled for November 2018. Upon approval, an additional US $226 million will be made available for Jamaica, bringing the total accessible credit to about US $1.2 billion.
Mission Chief for Jamaica, Dr. Ramakrishnan, was speaking at Friday's IMF Mission Review press briefing. Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the economy has made significant progress under the Economic Reform Program, ERP, and is pleased that the program is on track.
There is projected growth by the PIOJ. We have reserves which are ahead of program targets. I believe we now stand at about 3.1 billion US dollars. Employment continues to be strong. Inflation continues to be low. Interest rates are at record low. And generally, there is a sense of confidence in the economy.
Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark said the country has met all quantitative performance requirements under the ERP as at the end of June 2018. He added that 21 structural benchmarks under the program were also met to date, with 2 remaining under the precautionary standby arrangement as at the start of the 4th review.
The first of these is the tabling of the Bank of Jamaica Act in Parliament by October of 2018, which the government is on track to meet. And the second is ensuring that the cap on the stock of domestic arrears remains capped at 6.4 billion, which is measured on a monthly basis and which the government continues to meet.
And speaking at a town hall meeting hosted by his ministry on Friday, Dr. Nigel Clark said the successful implementation of the economic reform program has enabled the government to double expenditure aimed at improving the standard of living in Jamaica. He noted that allocations to improve the quality of life for the society's most vulnerable increased from $20 billion in the 2015-16 fiscal year to $32 billion this year. Dr. Clark further emphasized that government has also been able to increase capital expenditure on infrastructure developments, such as the ongoing roadworks.
We have been able to, in 2 short years, to almost double capital expenditure from $32 billion in the 2015-2016 financial year to $60 billion in this financial year. That is why we can do what we're doing.
And finally, several overseas buyers and local suppliers in the tourism sector are converged at the Montego Bay Convention Center for the Jamaica Product Exchange JPEX trade show. JPEX, which is in its 28th year, started on Sunday with the opening ceremony and continues until Tuesday. The annual event, put on by the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association and the Jamaica Tourist Board, provides the ideal forum for leading suppliers in Jamaica's tourism industry to negotiate and network with overseas buyers. The workshops at this year's staging address critical topics such as marketing small properties, interior decorating, energy efficiency, and revenue management. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.